Hi guys, so welcome back. Been a long time coming. So all the trial and error is done. Everyone's prepared now. All the teams know what they have to do. It's time for the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023 to be held in India in less than 20 days. So here I am going to take you through all the 10 teams which are playing this tournament. I'm going to take their what are the pros and what are the cons and where I feel they can improve on going into the tournament. Of course, I think now all the teams more or less have got the team sorted. Yeah, the subcontinent teams, the Asian teams have played the Asia Cup as India just won it, just got concluded. Then we saw an England versus New Zealand series happening there where New Zealand were not up to the mark. England won the series there as well, the ODI series. Then we saw on the other hand. A few more series happening about Australia versus South Africa, where South Africa did a remarkable comeback to win the series. It was unexpected. I think most of us expected the Aussies to take that, but kudos to South Africa. They show why they're a team to reckon with. So it was all in all, every team is getting their preparation sorted. The balance looks good, and I would just like to go in depth now for per team. First, let's start with the Asian and the subcontinent teams. Let's go to India first. India, the team which just won the Asia Cup, they look like a strong team. They really do. Our bowling attack has strengthened with the emergence of Bumrah back in the side. We actually did miss Bumrah a lot. If you go to see now the way he's been performing, not only him but with his coming in, the team has got a special boost. I feel in themselves the bowling lineup. Siraj is performing extremely well. Bumrah is of course on top of his best form. These two are really wrecking havoc, and the emergence of Hardik Pandya as a bowler has been seen in the last few games. He's coming in as a second change, and he's taking wickets for Will. He took 3 wickets in Sri Lanka, 2 in the finals after the damage done by Siraj, as you all know, a 6 wicket haul. So it's all in all a good bowling lineup. And remember, this is all without the prisoner Mohammad Shami, who is still in the bench waiting for his chance. Of course, the Indian subcontinent might not allow 3 frontline pacers to play because not only of the pitch, because they want an additional batter as a backup, as a Shardul Thakur or someone, or an Akshar Patel, depending on the pitch where they play on. So that is why they're going with Siraj and Bumrah, and I feel it's working out for them right now. They should continue with it. The team which played the Asia Cup finals is most likely my team to head into the World Cup unless there is any injuries or something drastically changes. I don't see any changes happening. It is going to be this team heading into the World Cup, and I would rate India probably 9 out of 10 this time for a chance. The things I would say due to is first, we are playing in our own country, India. We have a home ground advantage. We know the pitches well. We know how the crowd can get behind the team here. So taking all this into consideration, the way we are performing, we have finally broken the jinx, by the way, guys, of winning the finals. So that's another point I would like to make out, that it's all falling in place for a good World Cup for India. I'm giving them 9 out of 10 and giving them probably a high chance of winning this year's World Cup as well. So those are the strengths of India. Probably the only weaknesses in the middle order. Sometimes you see a few of them not clicking. That can be a problem. But KL Rahul, I think after his comeback, he might be a bit more consistent because he knows what he's there for now in the team, and he knows the competition which prevails. That might just help India a bit as well with the new 2.0 version of KL Rahul as we have seen in the Asia Cup. So yeah, that will be an interesting part to see how our middle order performs, and also our top order depends on the bowling lineup. We have seen how Pakistan did rattle us in the first group game which we played against them. The top order got dismissed quite cheaply against Shaheen Afridi and the fast bowlers of Pakistan. But I don't think it's a worry. We are coming as a group really well, gelling well, and should be a good game. And now next team I would like to tell you is about Pakistan as a team. Pakistan as a team are really strong. I know they didn't have Asia Cup campaign which they would like to remember. They finished fourth in the Super Fours table. Probably, I don't know, probably the worst performance in the coming years. There were a lot of conflicts, there were a lot of talk as well between the team. There was not a great unity among them. There were rumors going on that maybe Shadab might be removed from the team. He might Abrar Ahmed, the mystery spinner, might come in. Shaheen Afridi will get the vice captain's role. There was a lot of confusion in the Pakistan camp. There is still, but it's slowly getting all together, gelling well now. I think we saw how Babar and Shaheen's picture came on the internet yesterday itself. So that is really heartwarming. Even though as a cricket fan, I would love to see all teams having good unity going into the World Cup because it's really important for a good tournament to happen. The team should gel well. So Pakistan. I did expect them to reach the final this year, but unfortunately, the loss to Sri Lanka picked them back in the race. That was actually quite a close game. It could have gone anyway. I would say Sri Lanka did get a bit lucky as well with that boundary in the last over. If not, it was sure shot a Pakistan India final. But anyway, that happens in the sport. You can't complain much. Their pace bowling lineup is the one to reckon with, even though Nazim Shah might be ruled out from majority of the tournament. But they still have Haris Shroff, who, as Baba said, will come back in the mix. They have Shaheen Afridi as well, and they have a good Mohammad Wasim. They have Zaman Khan as well, who can enter and just fulfill the role. So Hassan Ali is as well there in the mix. He might just be called up. So they are really good bowling lineup. Their spinners may be a bit weakling because Shadab is not in best of his form and talks about him being removed. Nawaz can be a good off spinner in the Indian subcontinent because they'll be playing more in Chennai and Bengaluru, where sometimes the ball tends to turn a bit. So it might be a good option to include Nawaz and get him as well in the mix for the playing 11, which they'll be playing in the South India basically. So I would rate Pakistan 7.5, not because of where they are right now, but because just they need to get their boost back probably in the warm-up games, which will happen now in the World Cup. Let's see how they perform in that. They're playing New Zealand as well, which is a good competition for them. So it'll be a good thing to see how they perform, and quite looking forward to see all the teams perform in this game, in this tournament, to be honest. The third team I would like to talk about is Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, they're dark horses, but it's been surprising fact. As we all know, last year Asia Cup was won by Sri Lanka too. But then I don't know, they did win the Asia Cup, but they didn't do well in the World Cup last year, as we all know. It was quite a surprising thing for me because there were talks about, oh, Sri Lanka won the Asia Cup in 2022. I think the 2022 is gonna be Sri Lanka's year. We might see them in the semi-finals of the World Cup also, but none of that happened, unfortunately, for them. But I think in the ODI side, they've got a lot of experience. I know it's tough to say this after getting them 50 all out, but really that was just one odd day, I would say. They do have a lot of experience in their squad with Sajira Samavikrama coming in. They have Kushal Mendes, Kushal Pereira at the top. They've got in Dimut for the World Cup as well, an experienced veteran player for them. They have Dasan Shanaka, who is in probably a peak of his form. Man, the way he plays to finish the games is just outstanding to see. That is really a revelation, I feel, for Sri Lankan there down the order. And what do you say? The bowlers do stand up. Tikshna did really well, but of course, Vanidhu Hasranga was a big miss for them in this Asia Cup. They could, I'm sure, if they had his his services, they could have as well probably won many more games and maybe won the final as well. But it was a debatable topic. But yeah, it was a big miss for them. Hopefully, to see him back in the World Cup. Sri Lanka as a side look a good young squad, but with a good amount of matches behind them. That's one more thing. We as Indians and various other teams have been taking a lot of rest for their players, but this team, the Sri Lankan team, have not taken any rest. If you remember, they have been playing all the series, all the ODI series which are there. It's the same squad which goes and performs, wins or loses. They come back and repeat with the same performance. So they're a young squad, but have a good amount of matches behind them. Should be a cracker to see how they perform in the Indian subcontinent. And it's also a plus to all these subcontinent teams because it's happening in Asia this year, the World Cup. So they all know somewhat the conditions will be similar to their area as well. So quite you could say it will be fascinating to see Asian teams perform. Personally, I would like to see more Asian teams do really well this tournament. I would like to see probably someone like even in Afghanistan. I'm going to talk about next. How about how they can perform well? Let's go to Afghanistan now. Okay, so the fourth team I would like to talk about is Afghanistan. Afghanistan are really a dominant side. They are a strong side, I would say, because not only just what happened, but really they are capable of spinning surprises. And the only reason I say this is because we saw them against Sri Lanka. They almost chased 280 or something in just 37 overs, which they had to qualify for the Super 4. Unfortunately, they couldn't. They didn't know the calculations that going towards the back end. When Mujibur Rahman did get caught out, they could have still won, but unfortunately, it was not shown. But what I want to say about this is they are a strong side. When the thing is, when their backs are against the wall, they know how to bounce back. They'll fight their best, and we know how passionate they are about the cricket. I don't think I've seen any more passion from any other side. not only the fans, the people, the players in the ground, they just get so motivated. Every game they perform, you see the keeper Ramana Gurbaz keep on stopping for 50 continuous overs. It's not an easy job. So it's an outstanding team, I would say. I think the only thing which they're lacking is a bit of luck. We have seen a lot of tournaments where they're not being going to the knockout of the next stage because they are missing out by a few margins, unfortunately. So that's one thing. If more experience and more control of nerves towards the end, towards the back end of the game, will help them really do well in this tournament, because there will be a lot of time in the 9 games which they will be playing. There will be a lot of crunch situations, so they need to know how to handle the pressure. And if they can handle the pressure, then watch out, guys. They really are a strong squad. I'll give them 7 out of 10 going into the World Cup. And 7 out of 10 because of the team they are, and also because the way they are performing and how enthusiastic they are about their cricket. Watch out for them this year. They are the dark horses and underdogs. The next team is Bangladesh. We all know the Tigers did roar eventually when they defeated India. Of course, India were not playing their full main squad. Virat was rested, as we all know, and Shami was brought into the back in the mix. That was a good learning, I think, for India there. We lost by 6 runs. It was a important loss, I would say. I know I'm an Indian, but to be fair, that was an important loss. So we know where we lack as well, because we have been just winning games, and we might be feeling, oh, we are the best side. But I think that 6 run loss did push us back, and we were more prepared to come back and do well in the finals. So Bangladesh, they're a mixed bag of emotions, man. Like they have, I'm really good to see they've got a few experienced players back for the New Zealand series. They've gotten Mahmudullah, they've gotten Tamim Iqbal back, and Soumya Sarkar is back as well. These three really add them to the balance. As I've been following cricket for probably, I don't know, 15 years now or so, seeing them grow up being really great players of cricket. They just judge the game so well. They know how to handle pressure. Mohammedullah stood up for them so many times. Soumya Sarkar at the top of the order has given them blistering starts in the ODIs usually. And Tamim Iqbal, as you all know, is a veteran, is a legend for Bangladesh cricket. There's nothing to explain about him. So these three additions I'm looking forward to see. Probably once they perform now in the New Zealand series, will come into the final squad for Bangladesh about how they are planning to head into the World Cup. So it's going to be really fun. The Tigers will be getting from me a 6 out of 10, because I don't think they are the favourites to win the cup or even reach the semis. But you never know. Cricket is cricket. Anything can happen, and just wish the best to them. The next team I would like to talk about is from the qualifiers. The Netherlands have come in to India this time to the World Cup. A really great squad. The way they showed the temperament and the way they played in the World Cup qualifiers is really great to see. They defeated West Indies, as you all know, by close margin. That game was, I think, it went to the super over, if I'm not wrong. But then, yeah, it was a wonderful game to watch, and the way they're playing cricket is really good. I think they know how to handle pressure. They know the pressure moments, and they're handling it really well. The Vikramjit Singh at the top of the Max O'Dowd. They've gotten a few experienced players back for the World Cup back in India. So they are surely underdogs. I'm not saying they'll reach the semis. That's too optimistic on my part. But yes, do watch out for them, because Netherlands can spring a surprise or two. They might win a few games in between, which we none of them expected. They can probably upset the big teams like Pakistan, South Africa, Sri Lanka, India, for that matter. You never know. They're playing in Bengaluru against India. It's a run fest, bro. Anything can happen there. So, yeah, it's a good team. For me, it'll be 5.5 out of 10 for them heading into the World Cup. Okay.